Hi everybody, my name is Jessica and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm excited because I get to film my deck of panning update, which is one of my favorite projects to update. It does involve a deck of cards, which is always so fun to incorporate into panning. Makes it very gamified. This project was created by Emily from Emily and Max here on YouTube. I always have her linked in my description box, as well as Books with Maddie, who inspired her to create this project. So thank you to both of those creators. I love this project so much. I have some exciting updates to share with you today, so definitely stay tuned. I'm currently working on 6 products, and I'm going to update you in order of how long they've been in this project. I'll let you know what all the prompts were, how many times I've used them, if I've met my goals. They all have different goals set on them, and I'm definitely drawing some new cards today. Not just one, but multiple. So stay tuned for the rest of the video. You don't want to miss out on what I'm bringing in, and I'm excited to get some fresh blood into this project. So let's get right on into it. Oh, but before we do, don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment at any point. Let me know what you're thinking. What do you got to say? I want to hear it, all right? So talk to you there in the comments. The first item that we're going to talk about has been in since January. I brought it in for the 9 of Hearts, which at the time was the prompt astrology sign. So I brought in this split pan liner from Siva Beauty. It's a hydro liner that reacts in UV paint. It's the shade Doddle-Doo with those beautiful blue and yellow neon colors. Such a fun little thing to have around. I have used this twice now in some looks since I brought it into this project in, I think, January. Ugh, kind of embarrassing. Unfortunately, I haven't used this. Not at all. Not once. My goal is to use this 5 times in this project. Last month I had used it 2. I had 3 more uses to go, but unfortunately I didn't get a chance to reach for this past month. I still have 3 more uses on this product before I can roll it out. But I am finally getting into summertime, festival season, birthday season, and this will be coming out with me on some fun events. So I hope to have those 3 more uses for you by next update, at least 1 or 2. Even though this is taking me a while, I'm okay with that. Just to have this in my project and remind myself to reach for it a couple times throughout the year is more than I was reaching for it otherwise. There's a butter hair floating around me. Ooh. This is life with a cat. So that one's staying in still. Disappointed I didn't get a use on it, but it's coming. It is coming. We have better news ahead, don't worry. This next item was also brought into the project in January, and it was for the card Joker, my first ever Joker in this project. I brought in this cream gel liner from ColourPop. This is a forest green colored liner in the shade Fast Lane. And I actually do have this on my look today. Really, really like it with these cool tone colors. My intention was to mix the blues that I'm painting with more neutral shades on the outer corner and like blend it into it just to make it a little bit more wearable. And I really like how it turned out. This isn't a look I would normally create if I wasn't mixing this specific group of eyeshadows that I all happen to be painting right now. And that's why painting for me is so fun. I like coming up with new and different things. So yeah, let me know what you think of the look. This liner definitely added a nice little pop to it just to make it a little bit extra different with that pop of green, bring out those blues a little bit more. And it's been really fun to have in this project. My goal is to use it 30 times. Here's what it was looking like when I first rolled it in. I have been using it slow and steady since January. Last month, I had used it 16 times and it was looking like this. And in the past month, I reached for it 8 additional times, making for 24 uses total. Here's what it's looking like today. And it is getting a nice little depression going in there. I still have 6 more uses to go. And I'm really hoping that I will have those 6 uses by the next update. And I can get this one out of the project and bring something new in. But I think for a Joker item, it really wasn't all that difficult, but it really did force me to reach for something I wouldn't normally reach for and get good use on an item that had been really neglected in my collection. That one is staying in, but my Joker item should be out very, very soon. By next month, definitely. This next item I brought in for the 5 of Clubs, which again was astrology sign. I got that 2 months in a row. So I brought in this shade Birthday Cake from the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow line. This was actually one of their birthday limited releases that they do every year, or they did at least when they were a new company. And this is really, really old. I think this was for their 2nd or 3rd birthday from ColourPop, and I don't even know how old that company is now. Probably like at least 10 years old. So yes, it's an old eyeshadow and it is really showing its age. This is what it looked like when I first rolled it in. I had been using this pretty steadily, but it was really taking a long time to make any type of visible depression in this shadow. It wasn't performing and wearing away the same way that other Super Shock shadows I have in my collection have in the past. Here's what it was looking like last month. I used it 21 times. I reached for it 7 additional times in the past month, and here's what it's looking like today. And this shadow has definitely been putting me on a little bit of an emotional roller coaster. I hit pan on it at some point, but then the pan disappeared. The product started to rise up from the pan and just like shifting plates of our tectonic earth. It was really starting to fall apart and just crumble inside of that packaging. And I tried to press it together, and then in doing so, I lost my pan, and now it's just like not performing at all. It barely transfers onto the eye. It just looks kind of sparkly and patchy. It transfers on my finger okay, but I don't know what it is about putting it on top of other shadows, or just like when I put it on my eye, it just really kind of falls out onto my cheeks. All the sparkle just falls where I really don't want it to be, and it doesn't really look like I want it to look on my eye. Oh wait, do I have a tiny pan from swatching it? Look at that. I repanned it just now from swatching it. So there's that pan. Look at that. So I guess you'll see in my close-up now that I have a pan when I didn't before. Ain't that swell? I have thought about this, and since it's not performing on my eye, and I have so many similar type shadows in different palettes that are just much better quality and much newer. So I've decided that I'm going to declutter this, but not quite declutter it. I'm going to crumble this all up, break it up very fine as I can, and mix it in with a lotion and use it as a body shimmer. I think it'll be really pretty that way. And that way I'm getting use on this product without suffering through it as an eyeshadow. So I'm excited to try that out. I will keep you updated, but I'm rolling this out of the project and out of my eyeshadow inventory for today. And I think I might still count it as a pan in my collection because I hit that, and this was a shadow in my collection at the beginning of the year, and it's now something that I've used. So I'm going to keep it in there for this year, and then next year I'll take it out of my percentage, which I don't really need to talk about here because that's part of my other project, Pan Those Eyeshadows, which I'm sure you're watching because it's really fun, and I'll link that here. This one's rolling out, and I get to roll something in for it, so that's great. This next item I brought in just 2 months ago. It was for the card 2 of Diamond, which was influencer collab. And I decided to bring in a highlighter from Becca that was a collaboration with Jaclyn Hill, the iconic champagne pop. You know it, you love it. I've loved it. And it was so fun bringing this into the project. Here's what it was looking like when I first rolled it in. My goal for this was to hit pan on it, which I thought was a pretty ambitious goal. Here's what it was looking like last month after 19 uses. And in the past month, I really did amp up my use on this one. I used it 27 times in the past month, figuring for 56 uses total. And here's what it's looking like today. And you can see there's a huge pan on there. Really feel great about that. It is not easy to hit pan on a highlighter, but I guess I had more progress on this one when I brought it in than I really thought initially. And I'm just so happy to have another pan on a highlighter. This is not something that is common in my collection. I don't think in many people's collections, and it feels really good to have significant use on this item. I actually hit pan on this up for 41 uses, so I expanded it quite a bit after hitting pan on it. This one is rolling out because I met that goal, and I'm really happy to put this back in my collection knowing that it's an item I love, and I will be excited to reach for again at a later date. But for now, it's time to show love to other highlighters in my collection or other things that I'm panning. This next item has also been in this project for 2 months. It was for the 9 of Spades lip product, and I've been trying to rifle through all of my liquid lipsticks in my collection, so I brought in another liquid lipstick to try and use 10 times. This time it was my Jeffree Star liquid lip in the shade Rose Madder. Love this shade, and it was fun to have it out. It's such a vibrant pink. It's definitely kind of a statement pink, but it's been fun to wear, and I got quite a few compliments when I wore it, but I think it's because it was such a bold color. My goal is to use this 10 times. I used it 6 times in the first month, and I did make those additional 4 uses in the last month. So I've met my 10 use goal. And during that time, I used up 0.27 grams of product total. This one's going back in my collection. It still is performing quite well. It has a nice consistency. It lasts quite long, and I like the colors. So I'm happy to know this is still a good quality shade that I can use and grab for at any time. And this last item came in just last month, thank goodness, because I didn't have any rollouts last month and I had to roll in an additional card. I'm so happy I drew a Queen of Hearts, which was easy peasy lemon squeezy. So I brought in this hair product from Bedhead. This is their Queen Beach Sea Salt Spray, and I had just a little bit left at the bottom, maybe about like an inch or so, or less than an inch of liquid down there at the bottom. So I rocked a lot of wavy hair during the past month. Maybe if I have some pictures, I'll insert them here of just my wavy hair mermaid embrace that I did for about a whole week at work, which I've never done. And it's definitely more of a wild style, but it was also really fun and just a nice change of pace for me. And I'm happy to say that in doing that and embracing that style, I finished up the sea salt spray. It was easy peasy lemon squeezy, and this one also was rolling out. And extra exciting bonus point, this was one of the items that I wanted to pan in the span of this year. It's on my plan to pan list, and I panned it, and I get to cross it off that checklist, which always feels so satisfying, and I'm making pretty steady progress on that list. I'm definitely planning to update all of you in the middle of the year, probably like mid-June, early June, on my progress so far in my plan to pan list, and just let you know how far I've come, what more I have to do, and how I'm going to amp up my goals so I can hopefully meet most of them or all of them before the year is up. So let me know if you're interested in that. It's happening. I just hope that you are going to be there to watch it. Wow, wow, wow. We have 4 things rolling out. This one's going to be repurposed into a lotion, and 2 of these are going back into my collection and 1 into the empties. And we also have those 2 products staying in, both of them eyeliners, 1 a hydro liner and a cream gel liner. Kind of funny that I have 2 more, I don't know, unconventional eyeliner products in this project right now. It's kind of fun. So that means I'm going to draw 3 new cards today, getting my total products back up to 5. I have my deck of cards right here. Let me make sure my joker is in place and ready to go. There's always 1 joker in the deck. That card is for the prompt, "Are you joking me?" which means that you have to pan something you really don't want to pan for one reason or another. I've only gotten it once. I'm hoping I don't get it again. Not this time. I'm pretty overwhelmed in painting projects right now. Nothing I can't handle. So there is that joker. There's just 1 in there. Oh, look at Marilyn. Such a good one. This is why I love this deck so much. It's like every time I see one of these pictures, I just get happy. Okay, so the joker's in there. I'm just gonna shuffle it real quick. And while I shuffle, I'll insert a picture of what the game board is looking like this month. Emily mixes it up for us every single month so that the numbered cards have a different prompt each month, but the face cards always stay the same. So the face cards are just divided between red and black and have the same prompt every single month. So I have now shuffled my cards 3 or 4 times, I think. I'm going to cut them there, and the cards on top, those 3, those are my cards. I'm a little nervous. Okay, here we go. 6 of diamonds, largest category. Oh gosh, that's a blush or lipstick. King of hearts, pretty Marilyn. That is affordable. Okay, and the queen of clubs. Oh my gosh, all of these face cards. That is for in it for the long haul. Oh honey, all of my items are in it for the long haul right now. If you only knew. Jeez Louise. Okay, well, we can work with all of those. I'm excited to rifle through my collection, see what's on my plan to pan list. Maybe some of these will correlate with those. And I'll let you know what I select in just a few moments. I'll be right back. I'm finally back. That took a lot longer than I thought it would. For some reason, I was really struggling with those choices. It wasn't the easiest of prompts because many of the items I'm already panning are very long haul items. Most of the items in my collection are pretty affordable, and I have a few large categories, so I kind of smudged the numbers a little bit to just fit in with what I think is feasible for me to work on in this project. I like to have a happy medium of reaching for things that I don't normally reach for, but also meeting my overall painting goals for the year and trying to balance it with everything else that I'm working on in other projects. So I know that's a lot of explanation for a simple decision. So let me just tell you my cards. So that first prompt, 6 of diamonds, was for largest category, and I decided to just lump all of my lipsticks together into one category, or lip products together, and choose a lip product because I always love working on new lip products, and as you know, that includes my liquid lips. So sorry if you think this feels a little monotonous, but I did decide to bring in another liquid lipstick, and this one I brought in for kind of a different reason. This is from Kat Von D. This is the shade Berlin, quite an old liquid lipstick in my collection, but this formula really has lasted a long time. It still performs pretty well, at least from what I remember last time I reached for one of these. But this shade, I'm just not sure if this is really a shade I need in my collection anymore. It's not really really a shade that I want to reach for regularly, and I'm just not sure if I still like it. So I thought this would also be an appropriate shade to bring in during this time of year. If I'm going to wear a shade like this, it's going to be in the spring and summer. So why not bring this in and see if this is something that still has a place in my collection. So for lip product of any kind, largest category, I'm bringing this in. My goal is to use this 5 times. I think that will help me just get a pulse on this shade and again, decide if I still need it around. So that is the first one. And I think that's a goal I can reach pretty easily in 1 or 2 months. And that means I'll have more things coming into this project soon. The next card was the King of Hearts, and this is for an affordable item. Because I have a lot of drugstore in my collection already, I decided to try and find one of the most affordable items in my collection, and that brought me to this highlighter from Essence. This is their Pure Nude highlighter, and this is something that I've been wanting to get more use on in my collection. I've barely used it in the time that I've had it, but I want to see if I still enjoy it, and I want to kind of test it out and compare it to my Hourglass powder. I just recently finished an Hourglass powder, and because this is such a subtle highlighter, I think I might be able to use it in a similar way to just get a slight blurring effect, maybe a slight glow on the cheeks. It'll be interesting to experiment with, and I have a goal for this one to use it. I'm going to set my goal for this item at 30 uses. I think that'll give me a good solid impression of it. It'll just be long enough to challenge me a little bit, but not so long that I'm getting bored or frustrated or feeling like this is taking up too much of my attention from other items that I'm trying to pan. So that's my goal for this one, 30 uses, and I'm excited to get some more use on this item and kind of remind myself why it's here. And the last card was the Queen of Clubs, which was in it for the long haul. And I decided to bring in a lipstick that is definitely getting decluttered by the end of this year. And it's an item that I really want to reach for as much as I can before I declutter it. It is this lipstick from Revlon. This is their Ultra HD Matte Lip Color. And I believe they do still sell this formula. I have it in 2 shades. This one and a nude shade. This is the shade Addiction. It's a really pretty berry pink. And yes, I'm bringing in 2 lipsticks, which I know sounds a little crazy, but because this one is in it for the long haul, I'm going to be able to stretch out my use for it from now through the end of the year. So there it is in the swatch. It's really pretty deep berry, but not too deep, not so deep that it's difficult to wear on a regular basis. I think this will be really pretty in the summer. I'll love it in the fall, and it's really pretty in the winter as well. So perfect time to bring this in. I'm going to keep it in until the end of the year, so get used to her, and I'll be updating you on weights for this one. I weighed this back in January when I decided I wanted to focus on it at some point this year. It was weighing 31.82 grams. Today it weighs 31.7 grams, so I've already used a little bit of that product, and I'm hoping to use at least a couple grams of product before December comes around, the end of December, when I am just going to call this one quits and get it out of my collection because it is quite old. But I love, love, love these lipsticks. I'm really happy to be getting use on them while they're still performing. The nude shade that I have, Seduction, is getting quite low and dried out, so that one's going to be empty pretty soon. And I think I do need to set a number use goal on this as well. I know it's going to be in for the rest of the year, but that'll just help me to remind myself to reach for it periodically and kind of chip away at that progress. So I'm going to set that usage goal for 30 uses. I think that will be, 30 days that I use it. This is an item that I would definitely need to reapply more than once throughout the day. So I would be using up a lot of product in each day of use that I get. And I'm hoping to surpass that goal of 30 uses, but that'll help to keep me on track. But that is the last item I'm rolling in. I'm gonna cut it off here because I'm running out of memory on my phone. Whoopsie daisy, I really need a new one. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you again so much for watching it. I can't thank you enough for being here. I hope you're doing really well, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Bye.